True thoughts of going crazy. Yo, what's up? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is coming from A.L.A. off Earwood, where he took Albuterol and 9 hits. And here's the full report details. Alright, so here's the substance Albuterol. This substance came up in the report, used for narcolepsy but gave me bronchitis, by Raven Blades. GHB was used in that report and was thought to be mainly responsible, but albuterol is an inhalant used for opening the airways, so it very well could have played a big role in that report. In this report though, some kind of high or effects are reported, though I wouldn't doubt oxygen displacement played a role in this too. Either way, it is an overdose and adverse effects are reported. You'll just see. We'll break this down sometime in the future, but for now, I'm sure you'll enjoy this, so without further ado, let's dive right into this. It was a normal day, just like any other. I had done nothing special that day, thus making it extremely boring. So I remember laughing at something rather stupid, but unusually amusing. A friend at school, in the library, had taken his inhaler and put multiple puffs in his mouth without inhaling, and exhaled a large white cloud of albuterol, and acted as if it was smoke from marijuana. So I went and got my own inhaler, and puffed maybe 9 or so puffs. I guess I held it in a little too long, because not very much albuterol came out, and I had cringed because the taste in my mouth was as if I had let some pills just sit there and melt. So I took some water and swallowed what I had in my mouth. I then thought of another topic to cure my boredom and grabbed a small knife from the floor of my room and filled a bottle with water. I then put pressure on the bottle and slowly punctured the bottle as the water sprayed all over my face. Wow, I thought, this is unusually exhilarating. And I did the same thing with 5 to 8 bottles until from the chest up, I was drenched in water. I then took a shower and grabbed a few bottles of water with me, as well as the knife, and murdered more bottles. Each after another, I felt a pleasing adrenaline rush until I realized what I was doing / thinking after the shower. But before I realized that, I gave myself a lecture in the mirror about how broccoli juice will kill children. I walked out of the bathroom drying myself, and then actually started thinking about what just happened. I thought that I might go crazy, as the steroid albuterol rushed suddenly through my veins, releasing an ungodly amount of adrenaline, as well as making my heart beat harder and harder. I was going to go downstairs and see if I should go to the hospital, but I didn't know how to break it to my parents, so I waited instead. As I was walking through the living room, I heard my dad whistling and told him to stop in a very angry, hostile tone, because it was one of the most odd and scary things I had heard while I was there. I walked outside on the patio while my mother was smoking a cigarette, and I sat down in a bar chair for about 15 seconds, and then walked over to the chin-up bar and started to do a very large amount of chin-ups. I walked back to the patio and sat down again, and told my mother that I was going to try and take a nap. I went upstairs and lay down, and then came a huge rush of thoughts violently flowing through my head. I felt like I was going to puke. I thought I was going to become a third-degree killer on the run. I thought I would be put in a mental hospital. I thought about getting killed by the police, and more horror thoughts kept entering my mind just like those. Then I thought about what would happen if I never got bored, and those thoughts were, what about my future? Will I end up having a nice house and a beautiful wife after all? Will I live up to all my childhood dreams? And then came the negative part, and I could just flush those positive thoughts right out of my head, because I had true thoughts of going so crazy, I would die right then and there. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't because I was feeling as if it wouldn't even matter. I turned on the television as if it would help any, and it was the biggest relief of this horrifying experience. I watched a movie, Triple X, and it really helped because I like a lot of Vin Diesel's movies. But it flew right by, and went by slower than ever at the same time. I then went downstairs to listen to music, but it scared me as if it were yelling at me. It was somehow making me feel like the yelling wouldn't go away, even after I took the headphones off. I went upstairs again and slept the whole night in about 10 seconds, then woke up paranoid and very panicky. It was a long-term effect. I had minor to major panic attacks every day for about 3 weeks, and it settled down to 3 days a week with a much more minor panic attack. I would never suggest inhalants like this, because I would feel most sorry for Osama bin Laden himself if he had experienced something like this. LOL. You may think I overreacted, or I made this up as if it were a placebo, but I had truly experienced this.